Hey guys, Monday, July 15, US session close. I wanted to look at the dollar because I think we're in an interesting place here. I noticed some of the cycles bottomed out, the ones I'm watching in regards to the dollar. And also notice that it's right hovering around the point of control. So I'm guessing if this doesn't hold, it's probably going to push lower. But if this holds for a rebound or a bounce to maybe test this high right here, I'm going to place a trade, but I'm not going to trade the dollar per se. I am shorting the pound. So I want to see how that's going to play out, but I look at the dollar as a proxy to see how I'm going to trade this the pound. And from the pound, the euro, and the Aussie, I think the pound probably was the better play because things were kind of lining up. So let's see. You got point of control here around 104.14 on the daily using a 1 year and using a 5 year. You can see that this is still point of control, 104.06. Let's go to our simple glance. And you can see that it has pulled back. The MACD is negative. We're bouncing off this linear regression channel, which is the purple. This is the red one. This is the dollar store here. We're not there yet. But we at the point of control, which I find interesting. And MACD is negative. On the daily, let's close this. Well, on the daily, it's interesting. This is when I want to focus. So on the daily, we got our TD9, Tom D mark. We at the bottom of the linear regression channel, which is what I call the dollar store, dollar store, general dollar. I don't know, whatever you think is cheap. I don't know what's cheap. Walmart. I mean, you just get, trying to think of things that are funny at the same time. The thrift store, Goodwill. I mean, this is it right here. On top of that, you got your Tom D mark. MACD is still negative. No signal there yet. But I'm kind of leaning that there might be a little bounce here with the dollar. So I am shorting the pound. Let's go into some indicators here. So this is my geometry chart. I'm using a 1 hour, the daily chart. So let's see some trend lines, nothing there. This is the one that we broke and then it just dropped. But you can see right here, we're finding some support at this area right here. There's a couple of pivots, that 103, there's over here 103.98. But so far it bounced off, the current low we have is 104.03. Let's see, some fans, finding support here, some fans. And this is not the esoteric way to use the fans, but sometimes, I like to see what other people do. And so far, this is the 1x1, 1x2, or 1x3, or maybe the 75%. So far, it's finding support there. Monthly trend line. This one is way further out, so there's nothing really there. Andrew's Pitchfork APF. We've cracked it, and we were down there a couple of days, and now we're trying to regain that. So if we regain that, that's going to be key for possible retesting some highs. But if we fail, it's probably going to push harder, and you got your 25% here from these two pivots. And if that doesn't hold, then you go straight down to the last one. Weekly trend line. I have this coming through here, and it's kind of finding support. These are pivots, 103.82, that red line. Yearly trend line, that one we fail, and that's why this thing dropped. And retracement levels, we're hovering around 104.28, which is a 66.7 one of Gann's ratios. And vol profile, nothing really there. I think that's it for this chart. Our midpoint, so mobiles are negative, Stokes are unwinding, and you have a PPS sell on the weekly, and we're kind of stalling here. You got your midpoint here, which we haven't cracked, which is good. for a potential retrace higher, but if it falls down here, this would probably be an area to see if it's going to hold. But so far, mobile's negative, Stokes unwinding. You got a PPS sell signal. And it looks like it tried to bounce, but came back down, but now holding that level. So that's on the yearly pivots. On the monthly pivots, we got a lot of levels to go. We are at the low here, 104.03. Yep. So this was last month's. Actually, this is last month's low, and we're finding support. That's what it is. So we're finding support with the Tom D mark. Mobiles are negative. Stokes are very oversold. So I'm looking for a potential bounce using this TD9 and some of the cycles that I was watching yesterday at night. For a possible bounce. On the 4-hour, it starts building up. So we had this nice sell-off. PPS sell signal came in around July the 10th, and it just sold. I guess some data came out, bounce, failed. Kind of going sideways, and now we got this PPS buy signal. So it could potentially push lower, but in theory, if it does, this will be a buying opportunity to go up. Now, if it continues going down, then my trade probably is not going to work out, and then I'll have to get out of the pound, get stopped out. But if it does go down, I need it to go like this in order to bring some pressure on the currency. So targets to the upside, at least for this week, would be 104.62 because these are the weekly pivots. And you got your 50 moving average coming down. Mobiles are positive. As long as these mobiles are positive and you get this thing down, we probably will get a snapback and then we'll pop. But if it goes below this low here, then it could probably test this low, and if that doesn't hold, it could push even lower. And we got targets to the downside just in case that's going to happen. For the downside, 103.75, and this is the last one for the week, which is 103.45. So this could potentially happen. So this is risky. I'm kind of going ahead of the curve, just going with the Tom D mark and the cycles that just hit the trough right here. So this is the cycle. We just hit it right here. I think it's a dominant cycle that I was watching. But that's the 4-hour, and this is what kind of, pretty much the hour is the one that was kind of giving me clues. I started going down, and then I started seeing it kind of like wake up in the US session. It's like, all right, maybe I just need to go short the pound. So this is where I'm at right now. So we need to stay on the dollar above 104.17. This is your midpoint, and so far we are above it. Now, we could stay above 117 and 104.29, which is today midpoint. Targets to the upside could be this 104.46. This is more conservative. And you got the 200 moving average coming down here that we could probably kiss it and hit it. So far, we're at the 0 line with, a little bias to the upside. Stokes are, kind of going up. PPS buy signal. So let's see, 104. What the square of 9 is giving us here. It's like a dinosaur. It doesn't really move much. Well, 106, 107 will pivots high. 106 was very strong resistance. If 104, doesn't hold, it could push lower even to 101, which is the 135 degree right here. So this could be a range, but it's like a dinosaur. So I'm betting that it's probably going to bounce. Maybe test 106, and if it continues pushing higher, maybe 111. Actually 107. There is a pivot high at 107. So 106, 107, 201, 111. But I'm playing this with shorting the pound. I'm not long the dollar, but you could go long the dollar if you wanted to, but I am shorting the pound and just watching the dollar. I'm going to sign out. Hope you like this video, and I'll keep you posted on my thoughts on the US dollar.